Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and we are back for F1 23 My Team Career Mode part number 7 for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it is going to be probably one of the greatest race weekends ever to see. It's mainly my least favorite race, but also my favorite race as well because I love the challenge of Monaco. But as we've gone years past, we haven't really been good around Monaco. And I think today is a completely new me because obviously the handling is much better. So I'm 100% confident that we can get something out of this Monaco Grand Prix. Now, obviously, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. That'll be greatly appreciated. If you do, I love you all. And also, as well, you will probably get a sub back if you're lucky. Well, that's not really lucky. It's more just I will probably subscribe to you back. Mainly, it's a fair trade. That's all I'm saying. But if y'all will please support the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. I love you all. Thank y'all for the support. But anyways, it is time to do some upgrades for the personnel department. And I believe as well I said I was going to do something in the personnel department last time, but I think today is a good idea to do it. I think we're going to do it for Liam. He's been pretty crap, and I wanna keep Liam, but you know, it's hard to judge because Liam hasn't really been exciting, which is kinda a bit depressing, but at the same time, he's a rookie, so you kinda gotta give him time. So I think ultimately we'll wait it out and we'll see how Liam does. But we're gonna run a special helmet for this weekend. We're gonna run a well, the most basic helmet in the world, a red and white Monaco kind of color type of helmet, just for that. So yeah, we'll run that. But also, this is kind of one of the points for Liam because Liam is under pressure to lose his seat here at 142S Racing. He hasn't really delivered too much, but we're at Monaco. And FP1, FP2 are really good. Liam was actually not bad. He has closed the gap a little bit, but it's not amazing improvements. But I hope Liam can get back up here on the top of the grid. Hopefully me and him can do something in qualifying here today around Monaco. Monaco is key for qualifying. So let's move on to quali, and let's go see how we can do in qualifying. Oh, home sweet Monaco, Monte Carlo. Probably, I don't know how to say this, but I'm a bit nervous coming into quali, only because, well, if you we're pretty prone to making a lot of mistakes, and you know, I hope we don't make any mistakes today because the consequences can be quite high if you make a mistake around Monaco, and it's probably one of the tracks where you have to completely just focus heavily on just everything. So I think, you know, we'll play it out and see what happens. But as you can already tell, first lap, it was set a purple sector. Well, it says purple, but it should be green sector. But we are dead last only because we actually had to come back to the pit lane because our fuel was the fuel load was at ridiculous numbers, and we had to lower the fuel a lot because obviously lower the fuel, the less the car weighs. So obviously we want to do that as much as we can. But we're coming across the line here. Checker flag, purple sector, not a purple sector, 2 green sectors, now 3. And that actually puts us P3, half a second off Lewis Hamilton though. That's not a bad lap. That was actually a pretty decent lap, and I think that's safely into Q2. And yes, it is. We are into qualifying too. About half a second. We finished P5. Lewis Hamilton's tops the session. And it looks like Liam Lawson is out again in Q1. 1.8 seconds off the pace. He did out-qualify De Vries and Sargent though, so that's pretty impressive. Bottas, Magnussen, and Stroll. Stroll's out. That's kind of a shocker for Aston, but not so good of a session so far for Liam. And well, for us, we actually get into Q3 with a decent lap time. That's safely through. Alonso is out. and that's a big name right there. But so far, the car is quite pacey. I was honestly not. I didn't know how far we were gonna. I didn't know how far we were gonna be expected. I didn't really know the simulated time. So obviously, I mean, it's a good lap. But our first lap actually put us into P4. But now it is time for the last lap dash, the final qualifying run here around Monaco. Very key to get a good run down to Sandoval, heading it up into the Casino Square. Very much key. Try to get as close to the walls as you can. Obviously through this and now through this long corner. Very key to just stay as close to the wall you can. Go through Casino Square down into the hairpin, and now go to the famous corner where he does where we haven't not done a Nico Rosberg. We're at a purple sector 1 now, going through the hairpin. Very key to get a good exit out of that hairpin and down into the last couple of corners here once again. But now heading underneath the tunnel. Purple sector 1, we're at 2/10 above, so we actually are having a decent lap here. I don't know if this will be enough for pole position, but we can only pray as we now go down into the chicane and heading down into the swimming pool chicane and going past the amazing yachts and boats and everything like that you can imagine. But anyways, 5/10 improvement now, almost 6/10 improvement now, heading into the swimming pool chicane and coming in through the last couple of corners here once again. Coming through the last couple of corners here, the penultimate corner now of this lap, 6/10 up. And almost now 5/10 up. We got a little bit of a snap there once again. But this could be pole position if we play our cards right. Do we get pole position here in Monaco?
Yes, excellent lap.
Yes, we do. Pole position around Monaco. Holy crap! I didn't even. Oh wow! I didn't even expect that lap time, mate. Wow. All right. Well, that's pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix. Almost 2/10 ahead of Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. That's crazy. And by the way, the AI we are running is about 101 AI, so it's not 110. But that's I'm very impressed with that lap. I am very impressed with that, and that is pole position for Monaco, and that is what you need around here. Because again, Monaco, it's hard to overtake. This is a great opportunity for us to win our first race, but we got to keep the goals realistic. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but as pole position for Monaco, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, mate. This is I'm speechless. Let's go to the race.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929. And there's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Joker lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Perez, Sainz, Leclerc, Gasly, Norris, Zhou, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Bottas, Magnussen, Liam Lawson, De Vries, Liam Lawson. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Thanks, Mark. And here we are on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. It should be a very simple, easy race today, only because I think I am extremely confident that we can win this, but the problem is I think we're going to have a Alonso-type train with us because I know the car isn't super quick, but I think it's going to be a Fernando Alonso type train here today, and I think we're going to be the one all aboard that darn choo-choo train. But anyways, 5 red lights now underway, and we're now underway for the Monaco Grand Prix. We get a decent start ahead. Max actually didn't get the best start. George Russell's now pressuring Max. Russell now takes P2, but Max can easily fight this back around the outside. Max Verstappen does get P2 back, and we are gone, flying away, already 6/10 ahead. Down to turn 1, we are actually on the hard tire strategy, so we're on the 1 stop. We're gonna stop for the mediums later on in the session, but very simple, easy, clean start right ahead, leading the way of the Monaco Grand Prix, heading down into the next couple of corners. But so far, I think the main pressure is now gonna be behind Max Verstappen because he's gonna be the one that's gonna be chasing us, and that Red Bull is extremely quick, but we're more dominant, I think, in the middle sector. I feel like we're just a little bit more faster than Max compared to him in the first sector and third sectors is where the Red Bull's dominant. But I feel like the middle sector, I'm pretty good at it. It's just the swimming pool chicane, everything like that. The car isn't on like its rails. That's kind of the problem. But anyways, you can already see the pace is absolutely just enormous behind with the guys behind. A 1:15.4 for Charles Leclerc. That's about 4/10 ahead of us. So it's almost half a second that he set the fast lap. But so far, Leclerc is actually in this back of is all the way in the back of this train, and he's actually got a couple guys actually behind him as well. I think that's one of the Alpines that's also making a little bit of a train. And Lewis Hamilton, though, one thing to point out, I believe Lewis Hamilton's actually back there as well, so he's gonna need to make up some moves. And obviously the Mercedes are now the guys that are challenging Red Bull and Ferrari, and now a 3-way battle. But Merc has been really dominant over the past couple of races. They won in Baku, they won in Miami, and Imola was a great race for him. So this could be the time where Mercedes fight back and they get that positions that they want. But anyways, coming to the end of lap 3 now. We checked the vehicle conditions to see how the tires were. We actually clipped the inside wall just a little bit, and there was thankfully no damage, so we did get away with it. Very much, you don't want to touch the wall too much around Monaco because, again, damage is horrendous. But anyways, we do set another fast lap of the race, though, which is actually a pretty good lap because we actually pushed the tires just a little bit. We're not taking too much life out of the tires, but the tires are falling off extremely. The tires are going off by an extreme amount, and obviously I hate when the tires do fall off just like this. But again, we've been making a lot of tire wear upgrades onto the car, so that is kind of what's. So again, hopefully the tires will be back in a stable window. We just more gotta wait and just see how everything pans out. But again, 18% on the rear and 16 and 17 up at the front, so we do have a good front end. The rear's a bit unstable, but I'm pretty sure we can probably cope with it. The wings are fine, no big concerns right now. It's just trying to keep a steady pace to Verstappen. Verstappen is absolutely all over the back of us now. He's in the dirty air, which is really going to compromise Max, but I think ultimately that if we just play the cards right, I think we can easily get a good position here. We just more got to stay calm and stay focused. And again, also thinking about the strategy as well, because 100%, if Max undercuts us, and I feel like he will, if he does though, this race might be over. Honestly, I'm just saying that right now, because I feel like when Verstappen gets in clean air, he's going to be an absolute rocket ship compared to us. Because I feel like we're going to be, because again, I mean, the pace is good, but it's not super impressive compared to what the Red Bulls are doing and what the Mercedes and Ferrari and everybody like that. But so far, you can see how much Max is actually slowing down a lot, just trying to stay with us. George Russell actually back there as well. We're going to get basically a whole flyby through the field. Checo in 4th. Got both Ferraris running 5th and 6th. And then you got the Alpine of Gasly, and then you got Zhou in the points and everyone like that. Alonso and Hamilton are actually P11 and P12, so those are 2 big names right there. And just taking a look down at the grid once again, you got Bottas back here as well, Lance Stroll. And Liam Lawson's actually back there. He's actually ahead of Logan Sargent, I believe also. And no, he's only ahead of Logan Sargent. So Mate is a bit slow, but we didn't actually get a great run through Rasgas. Kind of struggled just a little bit, but we're going to get a decent run out the final corner. And again, I think every time we get a good exit, we can pull away from the Red Bulls. And again, I mean, the straight line speed, obviously DRS is basically useless around here. But if you saw in this year's Monaco Grand Prix, well, actually, it wasn't too useless, because at the end of the day, people were still getting passes. I'm surprised Max hasn't made a lunge down the hairpin. That hairpin is mainly a good overtake possibility, But again, we touched the outside wall there just again. No damage, so we are perfectly fine. But as you can see right now, we're just trying to keep the car under a stable condition. But Max and Russell, I believe, are sitting. I've been checking on the pace of these guys behind, and they've been absolutely flying. But we are coming close to the pit window here, and this is going to be crucial for us because, again, it mainly depends on what Max is going to do here. Obviously, we're going to do the opposite of what Max does. So if he, obviously, I feel like I need to pit, but again, I think he can stay out one more lap just to see what we can do. I don't think Max will be pitting this lap. Actually, no, he does come into the pits. Max and Russell are both in the pits, and this is going to be a key pit stop for these two guys. Once again, Max into the pits now, onto a set of medium tires. Clean stop from Red Bull. Do they get that? Yes, they do. George Russell now, he's into the pits as well. He needs a clean stop from Mercedes. Does he get the clean stop? Yes, he does. And I believe everybody else is staying in the pits. But again, the outlap is very crucial for these guys. We pulled a decent gap from Sergio, but Max is in clean air, so we actually need to get caught up in traffic. But unfortunately, Russell got caught up behind Carlos Sainz. That's kind of what I was hoping for. Because again, or no, that's actually not. Is that Carlos Sainz or is that, I don't know who that is. Actually, I honestly think the Ferrari's actually pitted a lap before, but this pit stop is going to be crucial. It's a little bit slow, but again, it's now a drag race. Can Verstappen get us at the line? Does he get us? Yes, he does. Verstappen takes the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. But do we get ahead of Charles Leclerc? That is the key now. If we can get ahead of Charles Leclerc, we are secure P2 in this race. Do we get ahead of Leclerc? Yes, we do. We beat Charles Leclerc at the exit. That was crucial. Oh my God, that was crucial for Leclerc. But again, you can see through this middle sector, we had to warm up the tires. You fast forward just a little bit, but again, Max is gone. He's just that man took off. That man's in clean air. He is gone, and there is nothing left that we can do to catch up to Max. That is mainly the problem in this race. Is once Max is in clean air, once that Red Bull is in clean air, it's a league of its own. And I think it would have been with any car. I think it could have been with the Merc, the Red Bull, or the Ferrari. Hell, it could have even been maybe Alonso, maybe. Who knows? Because Aston been making some really good upgrades. But anyways, now it's just mainly surviving and turning attack into defense now. We need to hold up Charles Leclerc as much as possible. I feel like Leclerc will be a bit annoyed because again, he's going to be behind us, but I think he's going to make a lot. I feel like he probably will make a mistake, whether he'll hit us in the back or he'll just do something because again, around Monaco, the AI can still make mistakes. And again, the AI, from what I've seen from playing, the AI are very much in a different type of window when it comes to them being behind, because they sometimes will be very impatient. And again, I mean, they're not turning in on you, but I feel like Leclerc could possibly hit us in the rear, and I think honestly that might cost Leclerc just a little bit of time, because again, I would have to leave the door open, but I want to keep the door blocked as much as I can because I don't want Leclerc to see a door and then him go for it. So now approaching the last 10 laps of this race here, once again, lap 30 to 39. The tires are coming off just a little bit. We pushed just a little bit too much. I think ultimately at this point we're just going to back off. We're not going to gain much time to Verstappen. Verstappen is in a league of his own. There's no point of fighting this. George Russell, though, he's actually in this sort of group of cars. He actually got undercutted by Leclerc as well, so that was not what the Mercedes guys needed. But Red Bull, Sergio Perez, he's actually down there in P5, and I think that might be Gasly that's in the back of this train here. I think Gasly's queuing up in the back of this train. I think Gasly was ahead of Esteban Ocon before the pit stop, and obviously behind there is Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. And then I believe Zhou Guanyu and Fernando Alonso are the last two in the points-paying positions. I think Lewis Hamilton, though, might be in that points. Lewis Hamilton, though, he might be the one guy that could possibly challenge Fernando Alonso for those points-paying positions, because you know that Mercedes driver is going to do everything in his power to get past Alonso as much as we can. So it's very crucial to see basically on how the standings will change, because obviously I'm really curious to see how the Mercedes go with this race. I'm just more curious to see on what they do. But anyways, Verstappen's pulling about at least a second to 2 seconds a lap ahead of us, so obviously we're just backing off a little bit, but Leclerc's all over the back of us now. He's in the turbulent air of us, so he's going to be a bit annoyed here. Again, we're holding up actually George Russell as well, but you can see that middle sector, we'll get a good run. But Leclerc, my set one is actually, no, there we go, the mistakes are coming in, as he actually thought he went for a gap, and he hit the back of us. No front wing damage for Leclerc, though. So he is fine with that. The damage, actually, I'm surprised that he didn't actually break his front wing, but it looks like he braked just a little bit, because I feel like the AI have been doing that a lot. But anyways, now approaching the penultimate lap of the race. He does it again, but he sends one down the inside. But again, we just get the much better exit. Leclerc ultimately backs out of that one. But now approaching the last lap of this race, Leclerc, there's nothing left that Leclerc can do. But again, last lap of the race, it is still P2 in our books. And again, if we hold this off, this is going to be our first podium of the season. And this is going to be a great milestone for us, because again, we really haven't had the luck this season. We've been a bit rough, but again, we've had a consistent call. But it was just more the fact of if we could bring this up. But this is the last lap for Leclerc to make a lunge once again. He doesn't actually hit us though, but we go out wide just a little bit. We give Leclerc just enough space. Leclerc can't fight that back. But again, the brand new team, 142S Racing, is going to survive at Monaco. It's not a win, but it's going to be our first podium for the career mode. Hell of a job.
Yes, mate, I cannot complain about that one. That was an excellent drive. Well done.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
What a race. That was, oh man, I was a little bit annoyed that we didn't get P1, but again, that Red Bull was just again, I mean, the undercut really just, it's just so powerful in this year's game, and I feel like it's more powerful than ever. But again, that undercut was very much key. I thought we could have possibly still beat Verstappen at the line if he just got caught up in a car behind him. That's kind of what I was praying for, but ultimately it didn't happen. But that is going to be a podium, though. Our first podium of the season, and that's a great result for this team, because again, if you think about all the luck that we've had, if you go back to Bahrain, we got front wing damage that kind of technically cost us points paying positions, and then obviously the double DNF in Saudi Arabia from an engine failure. Go to Imola, you go to Australia, we got good points, decent points paying positions. Then you go to Baku, we get a point in the sprint race, but again, that we could have possibly got more if we didn't crash out. And then you think of what happened around Miami, and that could have been, that was just a very difficult weekend for me to acknowledge, because again, I mean, the car wasn't super good. And also, if you think about now with Imola last time out, we got caught out with those red flag glitch. But again, that moves us up now P9 in the standings. We're actually ahead of Pierre Gasly on 23 points. And this is a decent result. That moves us up into 7th in the constructor standings. So we have pulled a decent gap away from Alfa Romeo and Haas. Those two guys I was mainly worried about as well, because again, 2 Ferrari power cars, three of us, obviously us being a Ferrari power unit type car. I thought we could have possibly, I think honestly that they could have been really close, but again, Haas and Alfa Romeo, I think Zhou got points for Alfa Romeo today, so that moves them up just a little bit. But again, I think we just need to keep being ourselves, and we just need to keep developing this car. And again, I mean, I am very much impressed with my driving today. I honestly didn't expect to like be this quicker on Monaco. Monaco is probably one of my weakest tracks, but again, I just love this. I love this track a lot, because again, it really shows basically on how good you are, and just shows like how much you can do with the cars. So that's what I was really happy about. But again, that's a great result for this team, and I'm honestly really happy with the results. We're gonna keep pushing on, and we're gonna see what we can keep doing for the next couple of rounds. But again, the main key is now just to get as many points as we can, though, because again, I'm just saying, if Alfa Romeo or Haas keep developing and they're like one of the best cars in the grid, then we might be in a bit of a pickle. But again, I think honestly now the fight is between us trying to catch up to Alpine, and also the fight with McLaren, because again, McLaren are making steady upgrades, but again, I think we can challenge McLaren a lot. If you think about Miami, we were basically racing with the McLarens, And I think basically me and the McLaren are actually around the same exact pace. And we're basically the same exact pace. I just think Lando was just much of a better driver because, again, he's getting more performance out of that McLaren. But again, we're heading into Spain now. Obviously, the last weekend of the triple header, and obviously Spain's got the new layout obviously this year. So I think I'm going to be confident around Spain. But ultimately, we'll find that out in the next episode of My Team. But anyways, thank y'all for watching this video. Have a good rest of your day. If y'all like this content, please like and subscribe for more. If you do, I greatly appreciate that. I love you all. Thank you for the support in this channel. And hopefully we can continue more uploading for y'all as much as we can. But have a good rest of your day, y'all. Be safe out there. And I'll see y'all in the next one.